what can you do to prove that your own lead generation is dying in your organization?
Yeah.
And I suppose the best way to look at this is to understand the effectiveness of the leads that you're generating and how they progress along the funnel from lead to MQL, SQL, opportunity, customer, whatever stage you want to look at. Knowing how they progress through that is the most effective way to understand what sources, what channels are effective for your lead generation. So I just wanted to share a little something, basically a split funnel analysis, which is kind of what is coined. I don't actually know who coined that term, but it's basically an analysis that splits your funnel in half, essentially, or in some way. You're splitting out low intent leads that haven't explicitly asked to talk to you, basically, and high intent leads who have declared interest in your product and are essentially asking to talk to sales or requested a demo, free trial, something like that. So this is one of the easiest and most effective ways that you could, ever look at your lead generation success, basically. So there's a couple of ways to do this, and one simple way is to whack up a spreadsheet, basically. So what you can see here, I've popped in some example data, and essentially all you're doing here is analyzing lead sources, putting them in order of, looking at the funnel progression down from lead, MQL, opportunity, and customer. Obviously, like if you're using SQL or something, you could include that in there. And yeah, I mean, really, you're just looking at conversion between each step. So that cumulative conversion isn't working in MQL, but never mind that. Basically, what you're going to look at is your high intent requests, which is, somebody asking to talk to sales, basically. How many of those converted into MQLs? How many of those converted into opportunities? And how many converted into closed won customers? And then you're going to do that, split out your lead generation sources, and then look at those as well in terms of how many leads did you generate? How many MQLs were there? How many opportunities were there? And how many closed won? And the value of each of those. And obviously, without looking at individual data, it's hard to know what you're going to see, but you're likely to see something like this. Your high intent requests, and, it's fairly obvious, right? If somebody's asking to talk to you about your product or service, they're probably more likely to convert further down the funnel because they have literally, declared interest in what you do. So you're likely to see that closed won from high intent requests is quite large, and it takes the majority of your closed won business. Whereas lead generation sources like gated content, webinars, in-person events, you can add a whole list of whatever you want in there. Content syndication, outbound, you might have an outbound motion going, and you can include that too. It doesn't just have to be marketing lead gen, I suppose. And what you're likely to see is, these lead generation channels, whilst you're generating a lot more leads at the start of the journey, as you work your way down into conversion steps and look at MQLs, opportunity customers, that you've got way less customers, but way more leads. So just analyzing that really allows you to show the ineffectiveness of your lead generation campaigns at actually generating, business outcomes. Lead generation is effective at generating leads, but it might not be that effective at generating revenue at the end of the day.